Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Spin Reviews, and today I'm going to be talking about the new album from Chiodos called Devil. Just a little heads up for you fangirls, this review is basically going to be one big backhanded compliment. You've been warned. My history with this prominent post-hardcore band is a bit interesting, namely that I couldn't stand them before this album. It's actually really appropriate that I first decided to give this thing a listen, even though it came back in April, because they were opening for Bring Me the Horizon on their North American tour. Because it's pretty much the same exact situation that happened with that band and their last album, Sempiternal, where they basically turned from a monotonous, generic deathcore band to something that actually had a lot of texture and atmosphere and diversity, and keeping a really good metalcore feel throughout, which really says something, since I tend to be very picky about metalcore. It just kind of runs together a lot of time for me. Anyway, the main problem I have with Chiodos in the past is Craig Owen's really shrill, whiny voice, which in my opinion has improved incredibly on Devil. He really shows a lot of control and versatility from track to track, whether he's going for forceful attitude or emotional impact. He hits the nail on the head pretty much every time, even if the screams can be a little shaky at times. Still, despite what the fangirls might make you think, Craig Owens is not the only guy in Chiodos. The instrumentation to me has really taken a big step up too. I'm sure they can write a great standard post-hardcore song with some of the singles on this thing, but to me a lot of the most notable songs in this are when they really go outside the box of what they've been known for into some really interesting territories. Duct Tape has this really cool, almost hip-hop-like vibe in the drums and string section-like synth parts. Sunny Days and Hand Grenades sounds like what would happen if Warped Tour had a circus. 3 AM is basically their stab at pop-punk, and from what I've heard, Under a Halo is basically the poppiest thing this band's ever done, and it works really well for them. Seriously, the fact this song isn't a single is just a bad business move on their part. I can really see it being crossover hits. Lyrically, this is the aspect that blows Sempiternal out of the water, and really helps push it just past that overall for me. To sort of reference one of my more notable past reviews, this is basically what Robin Thicke's Paula tried and failed miserably to be. An album making amends about past mistakes, including cheating on a significant other. You can really feel the passion and sincerity in every moment of this album. It's part of the reason why 3 AM is probably my favorite song on this thing. Craig goes into great detail lamenting his own lack of self-control and consideration for others. And with a couple exceptions here and there, like Old Fish Lisp is Dead Now and Why the Monsters Matter, where it is sort of justified, he very rarely paints himself as the victim in these situations, and as a result comes off a good amount more likable. And the very end of this album ties it together perfectly, with the last 4 minutes of I'm Everything That's Normal finding Craig repeating the spoken line, I swear I'm different now, I swear I'm different now, as the vocals get more and more distorted and the music gets more and more warped and eerie and minimal. To me this sort of leaves Devil open-ended as an album. Does this show a new lifelong affirmation that he's changed his ways, or is he just kind of lying to himself before inevitably falling back into past temptation? There are some other themes that are tackled really well in this album too, most notably Cruel Exes on Old Fish Lips is Dead Now, Embracing Your True Self on Why the Monsters Matter, and Sunny Days and Hand Grenades, where he basically deconstructs the idea of the family that hides all their problems in some vain attempt at being perfect or normal. If I had to nitpick a couple minor issues with this album, the song I'm Awkward and Unusual just didn't stand out to me at all, and Bevis Bullock to me feels very disjointed between the verse and chorus, like I'm listening to 2 different radio stations and just constantly dialing between them. But other than that, despite my preconceived notions, I really enjoyed Devil. I'm going to give it an 8.5. I was even more surprised with this thing than I was with Sempiternal, which I didn't think was possible. And it's certainly better than Vice and Men's Restoring Force, the other album I reviewed on this channel, because the band was opening for Bring Me the Horizon for a show I wasn't able to go to for one reason or another. So what do you guys think about this album? Do you agree with what I had to say? Disagree? Have any feedback about the channel in general? Let me know in the comments down below. And just a little update for the subscribers. My content's probably going to be coming a little less frequently lately, or at least less consistently, mostly because of some life stuff, mainly involved getting a job and some homework. In fact, the first day of job training was why I had to miss that Bring Me the Horizon Chiodos show in the first place. In fact, just to give you guys a good idea, this review's been written since last month, technically, and I'm just now getting around to it. So I feel like there will be some point where, like, I don't have a review done for a couple weeks, but I'll have a lot written, and I'll just kind of start banging them out, and you'll see it, like, daily for a week or something. I don't know how it's going to go for everyone else. Share this around with anyone who might be interested, like the Facebook page in the description for updates, commentaries, music news, and reviews of older albums, and hopefully you'll see you in the next episode of Spin Reviews.